In this episode, I'm sharing some composition tips that may help you if you're thinking about making some money from your landscape and travel photography. I'm going to take you from thinking like a photographer to thinking like a publisher or layout designer, which could be the difference between selling an image or not. It's a cold autumn morning and I'm standing on a hill looking at Corfe Castle in Dorset. I was here an hour before sunrise. It was pitch black, climbing up this steep hill, and already there were 4 or 5 guys scattered around waiting for the first light. Well, once the sun came up, all of those photographers left, and this happens pretty much every place I visit. We're told that bright light is not a landscape photographer's friend and that we shouldn't shoot into the light either. Well, for me, this is a time that I love to shoot because for publications, lots of bright light is a good thing. When you have simple compositions like this, they're easy to use as a background image in a publication. The bright light bleaches out an area of the image, providing a perfect place to drop in some text. Because many of us don't shoot like this, when you see this kind of image, it tends to stand out. I've actually shot many images that have been published with this type of backlighting. I kind of like this shot with the trees in the foreground and the castle in the background. It's a very tourism-y, travel type shot. Not for the fine art types, but for the people that are publishing travel brochures, this isn't too bad. A good stock shot, I'd say. The thing with really popular locations is people tend to shoot from exactly the same spot and copy everybody else. And somewhere like this, we're in the Purbeck Hills and there's just hills and trails all over the place and there's all sorts of different angles to view this castle. And I think it's just a matter of spending some time walking around, looking at the options really. Before you go somewhere, it's worth researching to find out what others have been shooting, and when you get to that location, spend some time looking for those compositions that you haven't actually seen before. The shot I took here I hadn't seen online before, so it was worth taking. Because most photographers shoot the same classic views, the market has become oversaturated with images, all looking the same. Unless you've shot something with the most amazing light conditions, your chances of selling that classic view are very, very slim. And even then, if you get something really dark and moody and dramatic, the market is limited. I mean, a lot of tourism publications, for instance, want sunny days with blue skies and fluffy clouds. They don't want dark, dreary images. They want bright, cheerful images to attract people to visit that location. I've got a shot here with the Corfe Castle sign and the castle in the background. It could be used for an outdoor hiking publication or guide. Yeah, it's a nice stock shot to have. Actually, this image for me is fantastic. It has a lot of potential. It can be used in a variety of different ways, and it's just a little bit unusual. There's a bit of a story there about walking and hiking in the area with the signpost. When we think about making a little bit of money from our photography, the first thing that comes to mind is supplying a stock library. Well, stock libraries are oversaturated. There are so many libraries with so many images. Everybody seems to be supplying them these days, and it's very, very tough to make any kind of decent living. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of work for very little return. You have to have thousands and thousands of images and keep churning out images and uploading to make any kind of money at all. My personal approach has been to build direct relationships with brands and publications, and I've been doing it that way for 25 years or so. And Well, I don't want to go into how to sell right now. We'll save that for another video for another time. What we need to do is stay on track here with the type of images that do sell, and I just can't stress enough, you can't think like a photographer, you've got to think like a publisher or a designer when you're shooting stock. So let's talk some more about that. So as photographers, we look to shoot the perfect compositions using lead-in lines, foreground interest, abiding by the rule of thirds, using light and shade and all of these techniques to fill the composition with lots of interest and lead the eye through and tell a bit of a story. Well, of course, that's great and those images do sell, but if that's all you do, you're kind of missing an opportunity. With the exception of newspapers, most publications like to create visually rich articles, spreads, but they have limited space. So one trick is to use an image as a full page, as a sort of a background, and drop other elements on top of that, or even a double page spread. So if you only shoot images that are perfectly balanced and composed, full of interest, you're limiting how other elements could be incorporated into that. The reason why I shot this portrait and included so much grass in the frame was because it's a great image that somebody could publish as a full page and add some text in the bottom. Show some enthusiasm, please. While this image does not look good on its own, as soon as you put that into a full page and add some elements, it's perfect. So what we're talking about here is using negative space. Lots of negative space. On a recent trip to Studland Bay, I shot a classic view two different ways. One, the traditional way, composing the shot, nicely balanced, nice image, but the other way, totally off balanced, lots of negative space. You can probably guess which is the one that has more potential now. I've had many images like this published. Magazines just love them. So one final and really important consideration is every time you find a really nice composition and you've shot your horizontal version of that, try and compose a vertical format too. I've had more vertical shots published than I have horizontal. Magazines love to use full page images. And also, if you've got a great vertical image, you're opening up your chances of being put on the front cover too. And who doesn't want to be on the front cover of a magazine or brochure? Well, I hope this has been of value to you. Please let me know, like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching.